Hello everyone, I am Dr. Aparna, postgraduate in general medicine. This video is about giving you a brief idea about COVID-19. This is not the first time we are having the outbreak of coronavirus. Previously in 2003 we had one with the SARS-CoV virus, and now with SARS-2 which we named as COVID-19, it's a new outbreak. So here is a brief discussion about the structure of the coronavirus. It's an enveloped virus which contains single-stranded RNA. It has a crown-like spikes on the outer surface. Major structural proteins are spike glycoprotein S, envelope small protein E, membrane proteins M, and nucleoprotein N. Now this spike glycoprotein S, which helps in binding the virus to the host cell with the help of ACE2 receptors. With the help of ACE2 enzymes, this virus binds to the receptors in the target tissues. Now coming to the brief pathogenesis of the virus. Virus enters our body through respiratory droplets or through the surface contamination. It enters the respiratory tract and it enters the alveoli. Inside the alveoli, this alveolar epithelium, which contains type 1 and type 2 pneumocytes. In type 2 pneumocytes, here virus enters with the help of ACE2 receptors, and now the single-stranded RNA, with the help of RNA-dependent RNA polymerase, transcription occurs and multiple genomes are produced. Now with the help of translation and protease enzyme, viral proteins are produced. Now these viral proteins and multiple genomes, they combine together and they forms assembly which produces new virus particles. Now all these virus particles, they are taken up by macrophages inside the alveoli. These macrophages, it releases various inflammatory mediators such as interleukin 1, interleukin 6, tumor necrosis factor. Now all these cytokines, they increase the vascular permeability, which leads to alveolar edema, and at the same time they even altered the coagulation cascade pathway, so it leads to thrombus formation. Or because of alveolar edema and thrombus formation, there's impaired gases exchange taking place, and it causes ventilation perfusion mismatch. Because of this, patient develops. The special feature is here happy hypoxia. In this, patient feels comfortable up to certain level of oxygen, decrease in oxygen levels. Now all these mediators along with the virus, they reach the systemic circulation. Now it produces a systemic inflammatory response syndrome. Due to microthrombi in the heart, circulation is altered, which leads to decrease in blood pressure and decrease in blood volume and decrease in perfusion. Decreased perfusion occurs in all the organs, so it causes multi-system organ failure. Now through circulation, they reach the brain. Here they stimulate the hypothalamus. Due to stimulation of thermoregulatory center in hypothalamus, fever is produced. Now at the same time, due to decrease in PO2, chemoreceptors get stimulated, which leads to activation of sympathetic nervous system, and symptoms produced are increased heart rate, increased respiratory rate. Now due to alveolar edema, there is increased work of breathing by the patient, so patient produces difficulty in breathing. Now along with these symptoms, there is cough, sore throat, and in GI systems, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea. CNS, we are having a headache, loss of taste or smell, patient even produces fatigue. All these are the clinical features of COVID-19. Now coming to the transmission, how is the disease actually getting spreaded? Now when an infected individual, when he coughs, he releases droplets. Now these droplets, when they are either directly taken up by the susceptible individual. Now this droplet nuclei, they remain in air. This is a new mode of transmission, that is airborne transmission. And there's other transmission by direct contact and indirect contact. Direct contact is directly from the hand, and surfaces are on the surfaces where the virus is infected. If we directly touch the surfaces, and with the help of our hand, if we touch our mucous membrane such as eyes, face, we get contact. Now, so this is how the infected individual is spreading infection to the susceptible individual. Now we need to break this chain. Next we'll discuss is regarding the diagnosis. Now this is your days after infection. Now this is days after infection. We'll divide it into asymptomatic, initially 0 to 5 days, and onset of symptoms at the 5th day, that is symptomatic phase, and then decline phase in your 3rd week. 2 weeks it is symptomatic, and 3rd week is your decline, and 4th week is convalescence phase. Initially on day 0, after you getting infected, from day 0 to day 28, with the PCR, your viral antigen is positive. And next, and in symptomatic phase, from day 7 to day 21, IgM is positive. From day 14, IgG is positive, and it remains positive after that also. So overall, from days 1 to day 28, SARS-CoV-2 RNA and antigens will be positive. And day 21 onwards, this IgM, it starts disappearing. From day 28, antigens will disappear. Here is the important phrase: from day 0 to day 7, it's a window period. In this period, in this asymptomatic period, only your viral RNA antigen through RT-PCR, it is positive. Day 14 to 21, it is decline phase, but still it is infective phase. We need to know this graph. For what time, which tests, which antigens or which antibodies are positive based on your days of infection. Now we can understand that we are dealing with the deadly disease. Now here I am not discussing about the medical management, but our community measures how to prevent the disease spread. First, mainly is by social distancing. Nowadays we are hearing all these terms: social distancing, we need to maintain 1 meter's distance from people. Now wearing your mask, using of mask is very important step in this. We need to wear mask properly, covering both nose and mouth. Now sometimes we see people outside, while they are talking, they'll remove your mask and they'll speak. This is bad. We need to compulsory wear mask, and we need to even ask others also to wear mask. Major step is hand hygiene by using sanitizer, and steps of hand washing and all, many people are learning these days. We need to follow them. We need to avoid frequent touching of eyes, nose, where there is entry for the virus. So frequent hand washing is important. And the most and mainstay is isolation. If you're having any symptoms such as cold, cough, sore throat or anything, first you need to isolate yourself from others in order to prevent the disease. So this is overall a brief information about coronavirus. So stay happy, stay home, stay safe.